Today I will be unboxing MLB SportsClix. Here's a good look at what you're looking at here. They're little figurines and they have statistics on the dials there. So each player is different, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it as we open this box. So this is as it came in 2004. So here's what they look like. All right, and now we have all of the SportsClix boosters. We'll need that in a little bit. So here's what they look like out of the packaging. In the actual game, and not in these boxes, you're going to need these dice. And you have a blue one, a red one, a green one, black, and white. And the black and blue go to the hitter, whoever the hitter is, and the red and white go to the pitcher. And then this is a utility die, which is going to be used by both teams, I believe. This is also the dial that is used to turn the bottom. So I'm actually changing the stats by using the dial. These are 20 years old, so they've been in better shape. The first one we get out of this is Vernon Wells. So I will remove this, show the camera here. So 20 years worth of sitting in that box. There's some damage because the bottom is not supposed to look like that. It looks like maybe the glue had an issue. So maybe there's some problem with the glue there, but here's our little figurine. The first one. The next one is Carl Crawford on the Devil Rays. Now the bat needs to be kind of fixed here a little bit because it kind of just looks like a pool noodle. But that is box number 1 for us. San Francisco Giant, Jason Schmidt. Mid-delivery. And Brandon Phillips. All right, we've got Rocco Baldelli, Tampa Bay Rays. And Jim Edmonds for St. Louis. You might be asking yourself, what does this have to do with baseball cards? Because this is a baseball card channel. It is actually produced, dramatic effect, by Topps. So that's what David Ortiz. That is who I wanted out of this whole box. I wanted to find one David Ortiz, and we did it on what, the 4th box? Wow, that's awesome. It's in tough condition. Well, the other person we pulled out of this is future teammate Kurt Schilling. They have him on the Diamondbacks. I believe this is going to be Torrey Hunter. And it is. That's what it looks like in the packaging. Whoa, looks like we got another Red Sox player. Damian Jackson. I saw the number 2. Like Xander Bogaerts is not anywhere close to this set. But that's cool, we got 2 Red Sox players so far. All right, we have an Angels pitcher. That would be Troy Percival. Ty Wigington with the New York Mets. We've got a catcher. It's Javi Lopez, who I do already have. And another Ty Wigington. So we now have 2 Wigingtons. We get Jimmy Rollins right here on the move, and a pitcher for the Athletics as our final one. We get Mark Mulder. There he is. Just a little bit of the basics before we get into actual gameplay. The pitching team will have 2 dice here, a red one and a white one. And the batting team will get the blue one and the black one. You can kind of see that the black die has more of these smash graphics than the other ones. There's still an opportunity to get another one. The blue one has more bats than anything. And then on the pitching dice, you have more targets on this one, whereas you have more baseballs on the red one. The utility die is the green one. It's the standard 6-sided die with the normal pips that you see all the time. And then also in the starter kit is going to be this kind of ring here, which allows you to click them up and click them down. So it's going to start by the pitching team secretly choosing which die they want to roll. I'll say if I'm the pitching team, I'm going to secretly roll the red one, and then the batting team does the same thing. I'm going to roll the black one. And I'm also, as the batting team, going to roll the green utility die as well. So I will roll. We have a target on the red die for the pitching team and a smash on the black die for the batting team and a 5 on that utility die. So if we come back to our board here, we would look what the pitcher has and what the batter has. This particular graphic is only going to appear on either the pitcher's dial or the batter's dial. There is an opportunity that this would not show up on anybody's, and that is total control. And I'll explain that a little bit later. So we have the smash and the target, which means that we're going to look at the pitcher. So we have Mr. Kerry Wood there. You can see it, maybe if it focuses. Yeah. So we have the smash and the target, which means that it's just a strikeout. So the batter has struck out, that is out number 1, and that's kind of how the game would play. Now a total control is when the graphic looks like this. A ball and a target would be the pitcher's advantage, and what you would do with that is you would click up into the red or whichever direction they're going at this point, but you always want to give the advantage if they get total control. And then from this dial, you get to just pick the outcome. So I would obviously pick strikeout. It's just a plain strikeout. Now, if the batter gets total control, it's going to look like this. It's going to be a bat and a smash. And so let's say I have Carl Crawford up and he gets total control. We're going to click him up 1, and I see that there is a green fly ball opportunity. And then there would be a whole set of rules to go along with that, where you'd have to make a fielding check. We'll get into that in a second. To make things easy, I'm gonna operate the blue team with the blue sleeve, red team with the red sleeve. If you buy the starter pack, I believe you get these clips, and they just fit right in to whoever it is you're trying to put in the right spot. So it says batter number 9 is Kerry Wood. So I have that written down, but now I can just visualize it a lot easier. So this is kind of how the game board would look. You would have, all your fielders in the corresponding spots. These 2 can only be left field, so the left fielder is going to go in one of the 2. Center fielder, only 2 here, so they'll go in one of the 2. Right fielder, same deal here. Now, gets a little bit more complicated. The pitcher's always going to be here, that's simple. Catcher's always going to be here, that's simple. Third base and shortstop can overlap. So I could have my shortstop here, but I could also shift them to have my third baseman and my shortstop there. So I'm going to spread them out for now. Same with second base, first base. I can set them up like that, and I can set them up like that. I'll keep it relatively simple. So the first move that they want you to make is the preseason, and you will take batter number 1, and you'll actually clear the field. So they don't want you to play with anybody. It's just the pitcher on their dial and the batter on their dial here. So for the preseason, they suggest that the batter only rolls the black die and the pitcher only rolls the red one. And so you just see what happens. So we get a ball on the red die and a target here. If this shows up, the pitcher gets to click the dial up and then choose the outcome. So I'm going to click Mark Mulder up, and I'm going to choose the strikeout, since that is one of the options I can take here. So that's a strikeout, and we'll go to batter number 2, and we will roll again. So it's a bat and a ball, which correlates with my pitcher again, and it's actually another strikeout. So that's 2 outs now. And we'll go to the third batter. 2 outs. And that is a ball and a smash, which is what that looks like. So a ball and a smash correlates with the batter here, Omar Vizquel, and that is a fly ball. Now in the regular season game, we would have to make a roll on it, but in the preseason, a fly ball is just an out. So that would be 3 outs, and that's the preseason. So now I'll set up and we'll play a little bit of the real game. So here's what this is gonna look like. I am now on the batting team incorporating the blue die in, and on the pitching team, I'm incorporating the white die in, but also that green utility die. If we take a look at Rafael Palmeiro, we can see that his 1 actually starts in the second piece of this field. So he cannot hit to this side, which means that I'm gonna move my third baseman over, because if he can't hit it here, why would I put a defender there? So Palmeiro can hit there, and he's more likely going to hit in this last one. So I'm gonna move both fielders, whether it be a ground ball in the infield or a fly ball in the outfield. That way I'll have it covered on defense. So randomly, I'm not looking right now, I'm gonna roll this one, and that's the black die. And then it would be better for me as the pitcher. I would want him to hit a ground ball, so I'm gonna throw something that has more of a ball on it. If we inspect each die, you see there's a lot of the ball graphic, and there's only 1 target and 1 bat. So it's more likely going to land on a ball, whereas on the white die, it's more likely going to land on a target. Same with the batter's die. This is more going to land on a blast, and this one's more going to land on a bat. But there are other options. So we're rolling black, and we're rolling red, and the utility goes to the batter. So we get a bat and a target, which benefits the batter, and that is a ground ball, and we roll a 1. So it's going to go here, which is actually going to go here, because on his dial, where it would normally go to that left side, his number 1 starts here. I have a fielder there, so that is actually out number 1. We swap out, so we have a new batter, and I'm randomly going to select this one. So we're going blue this time. Blue with the green utility. And I'm gonna go again with the red die here. So 2 balls, which benefits the pitcher. And that shows a ground ball in a gray outline, which actually means that it's a scorcher to the number 2 spot. Now I forgot to shift where I was going here. So I have 2 people right here, but it's actually going here into this zone right here. So even though it's a ground ball and I have somebody here, a scorcher means that I have to make a fielding check no matter what, which means I have to take Jimmy Rollins fielding, which is a 4, and I have to roll this die twice, and I have to get to an 11. I have to beat a 10, which would be 11 or more. So we're gonna roll here, add to my 4, that's a 3, so that's a total of 7. So I need to roll a 4 or higher, or else the batter gets on base. And I did. So that is a ground ball out. Jimmy Rollins makes the play, and we go to batter number 3. I will randomly select these again. We're gonna go with the blue. I'm gonna stay with Mark Mulder's red die here, and the batter will roll the utility die as well. A bat and a bat. We will look at the dial for the batter. That is a fly ball into the 6th spot, which is going to be here. And again, it's actually a scorcher, so we have to make the fielding play again with Carl Everett. Now he has a 4, so I have to do the same exact thing that I did before. We have to roll, add it to the 4, that's a 5. Total of 5, now we have to get a 6 or else the batter is going to be safe. We did not, so now there is a runner on. I'm gonna remember this time to look at the dial. So it's pointless to have somebody in this spot, and we're gonna wanna double up on the middle right here. So I'm gonna place somebody here, here, and I think I'm ready to go with this. So we have a runner on first and a new batter here. randomly selecting the blue die. And I'm gonna still keep the red right here because I want this to be a ground ball so we can get the out finally. Okay, we have rolled a smash and a ball, which means we're looking here, and that's a fly ball to the number 3 spot because that's what's appearing on our utility die. So the number 3 spot is actually the 4th, and a fly ball. I have to make a move on this. I have to try to make a fielding check like we've done the past couple times. So Vernon Wells has a fielding of 4, and so does Carl Everett. So it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna take Vernon Wells to go get it, and now I have to roll that. He has a 4, so I have to get 7 out of these 2 rolls. A 6 is great, which means we're getting it because we're now at 10, and any roll I get would be 11. So he would actually come over and make the catch and end the inning. And that is the top of the first. So that's kind of how it's played. I didn't score any runs, but you kind of got to see how the game is played. Hopefully that helped a little bit. So we have the different levels of gameplay. The preseason is very simple. It's just to get you warmed up. Then you have the regular season, which is just the standard set of rules. There are additional rules for the playoffs, but they get a little bit more complicated, and you can throw in those rules as you like. I don't want to overcomplicate things right now. And you can also make up your own rules. You have your own league that you can make and just make up your own rules as they kind of bounce off some of the ideas that were made 20 years ago. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or anything.